Remembering everything that we read, listen to, hear, and say is quite challenging and complicated. Learning today and forgetting tomorrow, or repeating learning the same tasks to keep them in mind, can seem overwhelming and more difficult than we can imagine. Have you ever experienced trying to learn a task several times for your exam only to forget it the next day? These can be very frustrating and can also make us feel unmotivated. It is not possible to retain every piece of information, but you can remember the important ones. Imagine you're reading 2 books a month and you can remember and take action on each effective takeaway. Now imagine you are reading 9 books per month but remember nothing or take no actions. At the end of the month, would you rather say that you read 9 books but remember nothing, or that you read 2 books and actually remember and act on what you learned? It is not all about you're doing too much. It is about how you should do too much and retain a lot of information while you're doing too much. The first important thing that's gonna help you to remember everything is active engagement. This simply means getting involved with the material you're trying to remember. Writing things down helps you to retain the information in your brain. It is like telling your brain, hey, this is important, don't forget it. When you write things down, something powerful happens in your brain. The act of writing engages multiple senses. You're using your hand to write, your eyes to see what you have written, and your mind to think about the information. These combination of actions create multiple connections in your brain, making it easier to store and retrieve the information later. Writing also forces you to process the information more deeply. When you write, you have to organize your thoughts and decide what's most important. The extra level of engagement helps to move the information from your short-term memory, which is fleeting, in your long-term memory, where it's stored more permanently. Also, writing helps activate the reticular activating system (RSS) in your brain, which is responsible for filtering what's important and what's not. When you write something down, you are signaling to your brain that the information matters, which make it more likely that you will remember it later on. It is literally important to write. Whenever you want to remember something, then you need to write it down. Another cool trick is to summarize what you have learned in your own words. After reading a chapter or watching a video, take a minute to explain it as if you were teaching a friend. These force you to really think about what you have just learned and making it easier to stick on your brain for a long period of time. You know how sometimes you study for a test and then 2 days later you forget everything? This is because your brain needs to see the information more than once to really remember it. Like reviewing your notes after one day, then again after 3 days, after a week. If you want to never forget it, then after 3 months and as well after 1 year, you need to repeat it. If you want to learn a lot of things and you want to keep them in your long memory, then what you need to do is you need to use flashcards or apps like Anki. It's gonna help you to refresh your memory, and also the information does not fade away. Visualizing techniques gonna be most of the time life-changing. This is where you make pictures in your mind to help you remember things. Let's say you're trying to remember a list of groceries. And instead of just repeating milk, eggs, bread over and over, imagine a giant glass of milk, a chicken laying an egg, and a loaf of bread dancing on the counter. Sounds silly, right? But the crazier the image, the easier it is to remember. You can also try mind maps. For example, if you're studying for a story test, create a mind map with the main event in the middle and all the related facts branching out. This visual helps you to see connections between ideas and make it easier to recall later. Another essential thing that you should do is healthy habits. Did you know that the things like sleep, exercise, and diet play a huge role in how we will remember stuff? Getting enough sleep is crucial because it plays a major role in how your brain processes and stores new information. During sleep, your brain is incredibly active, and it is not just resting but actually working to organize and consolidate the information you have taken in throughout the day. When you sleep, your brain goes through different stages, including REM, rapid eye movement, and deep sleep. During these stages, your brain stores through your experiences. reinforcing important memories and discarding less significant ones. This process, called memory consolidation, helps move information from short-term to long-term memory. In other words, sleep acts like a filing system for your brain. It organizes and strengthens the natural connections related to the new information, making it easier to recall what you have learned when you need it. But lack of sleep disturbs the process, making it harder to remember and recall information for later on. So by getting enough quality sleep, you are giving your brain the best chance to log the new information that you have been learned and keep it accessible for you whenever you need it. If you are cramming for a test, make sure to also sleep afterwards. Do not pull an all-nighter. Staying active and eating brain-boosting foods like fish, nuts, and blueberries can make a big difference in how you're gonna retain information. And the last thing, which is lately important and you should do whenever you want to improve your memory and you want to remember a lot of things for a long period of time, is to limit information overload. It is easy to get overwhelmed when you are trying to take in too much at once. Focusing on learning one thing at a time and giving your brain a chance to observe it is going to be the best thing that you can do for yourself to survive in this world at the moment, where we have so much information and we don't know which one should be observed first. And instead of trying to read 3 books in 1 week, focus on really understanding and remembering one. Quality over quantity. Remembering everything is quite challenging, but giving your brain the chance to remember only the essential and the priority ones is the best thing that you can do to retain a lot of information for a long period of time. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, like it.